It happened again. It happened again. It happened again. I looked at my phone. I was in my kitchen just chilling out. 5 minutes ago, what do I see? Treyarch Studios have tweeted out, I know what must be done and who must do it. And boy, what is this? Boy. Well, I mean, I know what this is, but still, boy, this is such a cool teaser. My goodness. Okay, hold the phone, stop the presses. You thought I was excited a second ago. You haven't seen anything yet. I just recorded a full 15-20 minute video about this teaser thinking I knew what we were looking at. I thought it was straightforward. I was wrong. I admit it right now because I'm re-recording this video in light of the fact that I have stumbled on some new information that is very, very exciting. So in my original take of this video, I thought this was the Moon MPD. I thought this was just a scene from Moon being illustrated for us, that this was Moon Samantha rising out as we went through the Easter egg. The obsidian walls of the MPD were the exact same ones that we saw in the Moon. The kind of arch that we can see at the top is just part of that helipad that's suspended above the MPD when we play the map Moon. I thought it was all very familiar stuff. But I was wrong, or at least I think I was wrong. I'm still a bit unsure what's actually happening here, but there is a completely different explanation that seems a lot more likely at this point. I think this might be a different MPD entirely. And no, I'm not talking about the classified MPD, the reconstruction that has a blueprint in classified. I'm not talking about the one in Der Eisendrache, and I'm not talking about the one in Moon. I'm talking another one. And the reasoning for it is that on the left and right hand corners of the image, you can see extra discs which seem to contain extra golden balls, golden eggs, whatever you want to call them, and presumably extra focusing stones as well, that were just not there on any of the previous MPD designs. That's new. So unless there is some kind of camera trickery going on here, and unless this is some kind of stylized version of just the events in Moon, this is a new MPD entirely. So I'm going to split this video into two parts. The first part of this video, I'm going to talk about what the hell the ramifications of that are, because they are huge and they are far-reaching. And then when we've talked about all of that stuff, I'll talk about the possibility that this is just some sort of camera trickery and what the implications of this would be if this was just Moon as we knew it as normal. Just to be clear, that second part of this video is going to be a separate video uploaded in the next couple of days, so make sure you're subscribed, turn on the bell, all of that good stuff. Let's talk first about this being a new pyramid. The first thing I'm going to say here is going to make you think I'm crazy, genuinely, but someone's got to say it. Previously, we've been seeing square-based pyramids in Moon and DE, etc. But this looks like it might be a hexagonal-based pyramid, or it's a rotated version of the pyramids we've seen before. I've drawn a little sketch to try and show you guys what I mean here. If it's just rotated, then it's still unique, it's still not something we've seen before, and it still has 3 weird disc spots at the base, which might end up being even more going all around the pyramid for all we know. But if it's hexagonal, then that has some serious implications. I can't think of a single instance right now where that shape has ever been used before. And so if that is indeed what we're seeing here, it's a pretty big deal, man. So what's the significance, regardless whether it's hexagonal or just rotated, for this new MPD design? Whichever way you slice it, those extra bases with extra receptacles, I guess you could say, for objects of power are gonna mean that this MPD is somehow more powerful. This could be some kind of central MPD, one that is of a greater tier than the rest, something that allows the person present within it to do more than they might otherwise be able to in a standard MPD. The Moon MPD seemed to always be a gateway to a position of power, whereby Richtofen could, for example, have control over the ether and the zombies. He then lost control of the ether and only maintained control over the zombies when the Earth got blown up after the events of the Moon Easter egg, but that's what it's always kind of seemed to represent and been symbolic of. But now, if we have an MPD V2, the Pack-a-Punched version that's even better, then we might be able to use that as a position of elevated power in our fight against Dr. Monty. This is a huge deal. The background also doesn't match the Reisendrache, doesn't match Classified's sketch, and doesn't match Moon. So this is very much alien, no pun intended, in its entirety. Every aspect of this is weird, apart from the fact that there are obvious parallels to the Moon MPD opening and that event's ramifications for the story. The fact that Samantha is in there is fascinating as well. Are we meant to believe, for example, that what Dr. Monty has done in collecting all of these kids is put them in this house and then, unbeknownst to Richtofen or Maxis, built a super MPD below the basement or something and chucked the kids inside? Maybe they're there trapped forever now. We just don't know what exactly is going on here and who constructed this MPD or why it's there in the first place at all. One thing that is interesting is that the arch in the ceiling that you can see above Samantha here does have similarity to the research station that was built on the moon and the way that they placed a teleporter pad on top of the pyramid. And so maybe there was some rhyme or reason to that idea in Moon, and that has been done again here by the same group that built it in this instance, wherever it might be. The MPD is directly related to the Keepers though, and Monty, who is now our main antagonist, seemingly, is very much mixed up with the Shadow Man in the history of the Keepers and the Apothicons. I mean, Monty himself seems to be one of the first beings that ever existed in the universe of zombies, the multiverse. He is one of the first ones. And so it would make sense for him to be intimately connected to the creation of all of these devices that are scattered across the realms, as the Chronorium tells us. So is Samantha here, rather than being in a position of power, being held captive? That is genuinely a possibility at this point. Samantha may not want to be here in the slightest. And that kind of wouldn't surprise me because she doesn't even really want to be in the one on Moon. She's scared. She's just a little girl that accidentally stumbled into it, and she just wants to be reunited with her dad, really, and then tragic events unfold and that becomes impossible. But during the Easter egg, she's shouting at us saying, "I'm gonna rip your innards from your insides, Richtofen. I hate you so much. You've caused so much pain." And so if she was angry then, bruh, she is going to be extra angry now. And that's going to lead to a series of really interesting gameplay moments, no doubt. Just the chills that are going to run through you, man. When you open the MPD for the second time or the third time or whatever at this point, there's been so many of these things now, and Samantha is inside yet again, and she is hell-bent on destroying everything. That's going to be a gamer moment, dude. I'm really looking forward to whatever the hell they're dreaming up there. So let's talk about how this might fit in with Classified and with Nuketown, because in Classified, we see a new design for an MPD that we've never seen before, and now we're going towards Nuketown, where presumably that Classified MPD is going to be being constructed. And there's no doubt going to be links between that MPD and the pyramid that we're seeing here. I know I'm calling them all MPDs. I know I should just be calling them pyramid devices or whatever, but it's fine. Ether pyramid, let's call them that. It's all much the same. The Classified MPD is obviously an American-controlled one, and specifically, it's to directly combat the Samantha threat. That is the idea. I'm going to read you a couple of excerpts from Purnell's radios now that help flesh out that idea, because with Samantha being directly presented in this image, it seems like that might be the direction that Treyarch is trying to take this in. The first relevant radio reads as follows. Personal log, February 23rd, 1963. The construction of the Moon teleporter ongoing. A number of scientists from the Pentagon's 115 division have been stationed on site here at Groom Lake. Dr. Schuster, head of the operation, continues to be full of surprises. He's been telling me these stories about an evil little girl named Samantha, that she can control the undead. I asked Colonel Sawyer about it and he told me to pay it no mind. Apparently everybody's been laughing off Schuster's stories for years now. But then, yesterday, Schuster says he has proof. He claims this Samantha is responsible for several outbreaks over the last 20 years. Rattles off a bunch of names, and one of them was the Rising Sun facility. I lost a good man there, Peter McCain. I never got an explanation for it. I've decided to investigate this further. And then in Radio 3, he says, personal log, July 29th, 1963. I've spent the last few months combing through archives and conducting extensive research. Sigh, and I can't believe what I'm about to say. This is real. This girl creature entity, this being, possesses a very real and very dangerous power. Fortunately, as of now, her attacks have been contained, but if she were to unleash fury, she could wipe us off the map. And not just the United States, she could destroy everyone. But there's an opportunity here. To combat this threat, the Pentagon's going to need to significantly increase their 115 operation, and to support that, they'll need greater access to our gold mine at Groom Lake. He goes on in a later radio to say they want to destroy Samantha? It's so narrow-minded. Why destroy her when we can take her power and harness it for ourselves? With the amount of 115 buried down there, just imagine what we could do. Could mold the Earth anew, create it in our image. Sigh a toast. Here's to Dr. Schuster for gifting me this opportunity. When we get the excavator up and running at the test site, I'll be sure to get him access. Ha ha ha. And here's to Broken Arrow and to opening new worlds. And what is it that we were doing with the crew in Black Ops 3 when we were killing specific versions of our former selves? We were closing off certain realities. And now he's opening new worlds, and he's trying to control Samantha's power and building an MPD potentially in order to do that. And we see this image of Sam in a Hexen MPD, just chilling out, looking real angry. It's starting to look like there's a bigger story happening here that we've only just scratched the surface of, and I can't wait. It's really interesting as well that it was on DE that, yes, we saw that new extra pyramid that was a surprise to everyone, really, and there were all the parallels with blowing up the moon, but also on that map, one of the projection slides, not a lot of people remember this one, is an MPD being discovered on the moon. So there's a whole lot more going on here, like I've been saying. The last things I want to say in this video, if you haven't checked out my previous story videos, you've got to check them out, man. This is really heating up now and it's turning into something really cool. And also, I want to give you a reminder that this weekend is when my Borderlands documentary is likely to be coming out. I've been working on it for months at this point, and I would really appreciate if when it comes out, you give it a click, watch it all the way through, and let me know your thoughts. I just wanted to give you a quick reminder. I've also got a vlog with a celebrity guest from E3 coming out maybe tonight or tomorrow or something, very soon now. It's going to be like a day in the life of a YouTuber type thing that I think you guys are going to really enjoy. That was a real fun video to make, and it's going to be coming soon. So watch out for those two videos, Borderlands and the E3 vlog. More story videos on the way, of course. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.